Good afternoon, my dear young friends and distinguished audience. Not that young friends are not part of distinguished audience, but everybody, good afternoon. When they told me the theme, I said, that's not relevant for me. The fall, I never had a fall. That's what I thought, till I thought about it, thought about my life. And I realized that it's not just one fall. I have, of course, had a series of falls, and I had to correct my earlier opinion about my life. Haven't you all felt sometime the ground slipping under your feet? That sense of falling? I have felt it many, many times. It is actually difficult to count when was the first fall, and things like that. I will make an attempt. The first fall, or first significant fall, I would say was joining the IPS itself. When I said that I would like to join the Indian Police Service, the society shook. My family protested. My friend said, why? And of course, the patriarchal mindset protested aloud. Why? Uniform is no place for a woman. My family felt, why don't you continue the safe career of being a lecturer? The worst thing was that my engagement fell apart. I was in pain. I was wondering, should I withdraw? Should I conform? But I said, no, I will not do that. I want to do this. Women may not belong to uniform. You know, in 1975, joining the Indian Police Service was not a career option for women in conservative Kerala, nor in India, nor anywhere else, even in the developed world. But I felt, I have to do this. I can do it. I can make a difference to the women, maybe to the police, perhaps, maybe to India, and to life itself. And if I can make a difference, why don't I join and face whatever it is? And so I joined. The second fall was after a long time. I was, by then, the Inspector General of Police in CID. The person who was quite prejudiced about women in the police, even from my training days, he was part of the training team, he became my direct boss. And a crisis came when he wanted me to implicate a very respected minister in a murder case. I refused. I thought it was unfair. And I was actually the boss of CID at that time. And I was not going to give instructions to my subordinates. And it was so totally against my principles. It was unethical. In fact, the minister is still alive, though quite unaware of the fate which was averted. The officer, poor soul, is no more. Bless him, bless his soul. But that was a big plunge. It was risky. I didn't know what was going to happen. And It's very tough when the enemies turn against you. It's easier. But when people who are within the walls, within your safety ambience, turn against you, person who's across the corridor in another office, your boss, turns against you, it is totally different. This person's words became weapons, his letters became daggers, and he started writing letters to Government of Karnataka and Government of India. False reports, whimsical reports, but it was shadowing my career track. Then the huge break came. I applied for 3 days of casual leave. I wanted to take my 15-year-old daughter from Ooty, from school, for an international admission interview in Bombay. She can't go alone. She's so small. And every day they were calling, especially the younger one, Mama, are you going? Are you coming? Are you taking Didi? So I was in a dilemma what to do. My husband was away in England, and I was the only person at that point of time to look after the concerns of my family, my daughter. He refused leave. I had the authority to avail leave myself. I used that, went to Coimbatore, went to Ooty, picked up my daughter, took her to Bombay. And she, of course, was successful in that interview and went on to study in America, in the United World College. But that was my biggest plunge. It was very risky. I took leave from Bombay. I sent off a leave letter for 1 year and went off to Delhi. By then, my husband had come back from England to Delhi and would have been ready to receive me. It was very, very bitter days. The darkness, the anxiety. This is when I realized that things can become really, really bad internally. The bitterness clawed at me. The anxiety, what is going to happen? What is going to happen to my career? That was really, really terrible. I was wondering whether I was going into depression. But then, colors appeared in my life. I used to do Tanjore paintings earlier, so I started painting. I took up my brush and started painting. And I started writing. All my sorrow, all my bitterness, all my doubts, all my anxiety poured into words, cursing my boss of the perpetrator, cursing the world, cursing everybody around me. Delhi, it was summertime, and cursing the weather also. But painting, it was so beautiful. My anxiety did not reflect as in the words in the paintings. Of course, I did abstract paintings, and the conflict within me came in textures, colors, and the paintings were very strong and admired. So that perhaps started healing me. I can't really say that it was the rise, but the healing started happening. Slowly, slowly. And healing is not only inward, it can be outward too. I remember a heart-rending experience. I saw this 17-year-old girl, full-term pregnant, receiving the dead body of her husband. He was with her on a paternity leave and was recalled to duty for Kargil war, to return home in a coffin in 3 days' time. I couldn't get over it. That image seared me. I couldn't get over the feeling, what would that girl do? What would be happening to that little baby who these two people, this young couple, had dreamt of for the past 9 months and is going to be born? What is going to happen to that baby? What is going to happen to the couple? What is going to happen to the girl? I didn't know what to do. We were all giving 1 day salary, etc., etc. I thought it was very inadequate. I pulled out all my paintings, which I have been doing over the years, and put up an exhibition for Kargil widows in the India Habitat Center, Delhi. I was posted, by then I was posted in Delhi in the Airports Authority of India. The entire proceedings of 2.53 lakhs, I remember, 10 months my salary. My salary at that time was 25,000. It was given to the Kargil widows. The big rise from the fall to the vision was, each stumble became a seed, each seed flowered into something larger than myself. From my first solo exhibition in Wollongong, Australia, I went on to show in Washington, Vienna, Berlin, and many other places. My art carried my story to the world. I was humbled to be among the 50 Indian women artists which ICCR had selected to commemorate Amrita Shergill. Awards in art as well as distinguished service in police followed. But more than recognition, it taught me this: art is not about where you exhibit, it is about what you awaken within. Years later, when my final severance from service came, I felt hollow, but instead of despair, I rediscovered those seeds. They had grown into Art Mantram, given wings and recognition to hundreds of young artists, and for past 2 years, we're giving skills and livelihoods to tribal women in Bandipur and hand-holding Adivasi children of 3 schools, teaching them life skills. But I must share this. Currently, we are building Karnataka's first unique art village, Drishyam, on Kanakapura Road, just an hour away from here, a space where creative people from across the world can come to create, to learn, to teach, where scholars meet children, where tribals meet global artists, where gurus in music, dance, crafts, literature, film, and wellness nurture the next generation. Picture this. Imagine a tribal girl drumming alongside a visiting pianist from abroad, a place where the ancient and modern don't just coexist, they enrich each other. Closing wisdom of falling. Would this vision have been possible but for the fall, but for the huge plunge I had? No. The very ground that shakes us, bounces you into the skies, can bounce you into the skies. The very ground, so what has falling taught me? That a fall is not failure, it is just redirection. You cannot control prejudice, you cannot control events, but of course we can control our response. We can design our response. So, when we have a fall, don't ever ask, why me? Just look up and say, where is this fall going to carry me? The fall is not the opposite of rising. It is, falling is the beginning, indeed, of your eyes. Thank you so much for giving me a patient hearing.